There once was a boy who really enjoyed music. He listened to it almost every single day, as much as he could at any moment. He liked it so much that one Christmas he asked for wireless Bluetooth headphones. And he got them. And he really liked them. He started out his year listening to more music than he'd ever had before, and was able to hide the fact that he was able to do it sometimes. He felt he was no longer tethered to his phone, and was able to live freely with the music. Day after day he would use the headphones, and the headphones were great, They didn't lose battery life easily. They connected as soon as you turned them on with the touch of a single button. And they were soundproof, so you put them in and you couldn't really hear what was going on outside. And he loved it. During this period, the boy reached an age of realization. He started noticing things more, paying attention more to his surroundings, instead of getting caught up in his head and his thoughts, and getting stuck in memories. The more he tried to do this, the less he thought about the past, which was great. He began to meditate. And at one point he was home, and his roommates were home as well, and being obnoxious and loud, as roommates tend to be, in the rooms nearby. And he wasn't able to focus, or to not focus, depending on how you meditate. And so he plugged the headphones into his ears, with no music. This allowed the boy to look inward even more so, and channel out the sound and focus on the moment. The headphones became of great importance to him, as when he wasn't meditating he was listening to music, and when he wasn't listening to music he was meditating. He became very attached to the headphones, and the headphones in a way became attached to him. He went day to day, living life anew every single day. Every moment with the headphones was a new moment. The headphones may have started as a materialistic item for the boy, and nothing but a luxury, but soon grew to become more than that. He became emotionally attached and almost loved the headphones. One day, he received notice of a past relationship. Someone whom he dearly loved in months prior, who was no longer in his life. He got excited for hope that she may make her way back into his life, or become relevant somehow in this new moment that he has discovered upon the new realization. And he planned a call. So he went to class that day with hope in his heart and the moment in his eyes. That day, as he headed home from class, he got the call. And with Bluetooth headphones, typically, one's microphone tends to get a little messy, so it's easier to do the phone call through the phone. So with haste, he picks up this call with memories from his past, and loses track of the here and now. The conversation goes well. He enjoys talking to her, and enjoys the conversation, and things seem nice, but somehow at the end he seems less satisfied. He goes on with his life that evening, and meets up with some friends and has a few drinks, and has a great time in the moment, and enjoys who he is around. The next morning he wakes up and comes to, and feels groggy, of course, as one does, typically, when after a night of drinking. However, it felt a little more different. He spends his whole day going to school, going to work, and at nighttime, he's so tired, he just passes out. The next morning, he expects to wake up feeling refreshed after a full night of completely sober sleep. But he wakes up and he feels the old cycle in his mind. He feels the shit circling his head and begins to wonder what happened to the moment. So he tries to ignore it and focus his attention again with a bit of meditation. But as he starts to get ready, after he brushes his teeth, takes a shower, and starts getting dressed, he finds that he no longer knows where the headphones are. The wireless headphones were not in his usual spot where he places them every night. He begins to be a little worried, but this happens every now and again. Typically, the lost item ends up in one of his pockets from his laundry, or underneath the bed, or just anywhere in the room. So that day he searches all over the place. He searches every pocket, every jacket, every inch of his room, and even his car. And he begins to feel lost without the headphones. He begins to feel the cycle of less presence and more negativity. And he begins to worry. With his psychological training and meditation, he wants to be in the moment and the here and now, but all he can think about are his headphones and where they might be. He kind of moves on and hopes that they will appear around while he cleans up, and that hope remains for a little longer. And he does his laundry that week, and typically the lost item, in worst case scenario, ends up at the bottom of the laundry basket at the end of the folding process. And this time, there was nothing. His last hope for finding these headphones near and around the house were gone. He retraces his steps from days prior, and the last time he remembers having them, with no luck. And again, he comes to this conflicted space in his mind. The headphones are no longer in the moment with him. And he really, really enjoyed those headphones. And not just in a materialistic way. He enjoyed them emotionally, spiritually, grew attached. And now they were gone. The only option, technically, at this point, was to move on and use the old headphones that were wired to the phone. He became tethered through these headphones, back again to the past. He went day to day searching, hoping that one day the headphones would appear around the house as he cleaned or as he retraced his steps around the town to and from his class. And the headphones never came. And he decided that these headphones no longer stood a chance of being with him in the present. As time goes on, he forgets the headphones. He starts to make do with the wire and again becomes untethered in a way, and until one day when he is able to afford new wireless headphones and he is released back into the moment. And as he's centered, he fully appreciates the first pair of wireless headphones that he has and is able to continue his life with the new pair of wireless headphones he has and use them in the same way and be completely present and in the moment. But he still appreciates what those first pair of headphones did for him and the way they changed his life. And so the boy is happy once again. There once was a girl who was at the lowest point in her life. She had failed all her exams, found out that she was going to have to go another year and a half to the college that she hated, where she had no friends. Her boyfriend had recently broke up with her, and the only solace she had was music. She went day to day, wallowing in her room, listening to music. She would walk every day to class listening to her wireless headphones, zoning out and pretending that everything was alright in front of everybody else. The time came after a few weeks to where she was sick of it. She was sick of the shit and sick of feeling sorry for herself. She felt like her life could not get any worse and wanted to completely separate from who she was and where she was in life. One night, she had the whole night off to stay at home, rest easy, and wallow and be comforted by the blanket and the warmth of her room and music over a speaker. Her roommate, however, wanted to go out and study, and she had lost her headphones. So her roommate asked to borrow the wireless headphones in the possession of this girl. You know, she's a good roommate. They're friends. They like each other. They trust each other enough. So yeah, why not? She's just going to the library. Until the next day, when she inquires to her roommate where her headphones are, and her roommate says that they fell out of her bag into a puddle in the rain and no longer played music the way they used to. The girl felt like absolute shit. She didn't want to blame her roommate, but she knew that the music was the only thing keeping her sane in that moment. And she went that whole entire day in complete agony of remembering what she had been through and what was to come without the headphones. And it seemed like everything was over for her. She was ready to give up and never leave her room again, and maybe never do anything with her life ever. But the next morning, she woke up, and she had class, and surprisingly, she was ready to go to class because she was so done with thinking about the past that she just wanted to move on. She knew that her room wasn't going to change, and she knew that she didn't want to stay sad forever. So she got up and she walked to class. And it felt good. It was a beautiful day. She felt the sun in her face, and the warmth resonated throughout her body. She was ready to forget the past and prepare for the future that was new, bright, and colorful. And as she walked, there on the ground she saw the same exact pair of wireless headphones that she had owned previously. She picked them up, looked around to see if there was an owner anywhere looking for them. Figured if they didn't come back for it, somebody else would pick them up and steal them anyways. Turned them on, connected her phone, and to her surprise, they worked perfectly. She continued on to class, the sun on her face, and a happy song playing through the wireless headphones.